Talofa Lava and warm Pacific greetings, and welcome to Explorer Classroom. My name is Alexia. I'm Samoan and based in New Zealand, a National Geographic Young Explorer, and I am so hyped to be your host for today. We are so excited to have you joining us to kick off Explorer Classroom Ocean Expedition to the Solomon Islands. In just a moment, you will be joining a real-time scientific expedition documenting the ocean habitats and wildlife of the Solomon Islands. Your crew will be National Geographic's Pristine Seas team. They are on a mission to protect vital places in the ocean and around the globe, and they will be bringing you along on their mission. Throughout this journey, the Pristine Seas team will inspire us with stories straight from the field and give us a quick glimpse into the watery world beneath the waves. You will then get the opportunity to ask the team questions live and explore your own connection to the ocean. As Pacific Islanders, we are the OG navigators, so I can't wait to learn with you as we embark on this expedition together. I am so excited, so if you're as excited as I am, please let me know in the comments below. Now, before we join the team live from their research ship, I'd like to welcome all of the classes who are joining us today. We have some amazing classes that I can see right now. We're thrilled to have classes even from the Solomon Islands. So I'm going to read out just a few of our classes in the Solomon Islands. And so please cheer and get excited and get hyped in the comments or even in your classroom. We'll see if you can be so loud we can hear you from around the globe if your classroom gets a shout out. So first up, one of our classrooms we have today is Lunga Community High School. It is fantastic to have you with us. We also have St. Joseph's Catholic Secondary School in the Zoom today. We have Su'u National Secondary School. We've got F.K. Campbell School. We have Waimapuru National Secondary School. And last but not least, we have St. John Community High School. So please drop some love, drop some reactions for some of our amazing schools in the Solomon Islands who are joining us today. Now, we'd also like to welcome our classes from around the globe that are joining us, which includes Peachland Avenue Elementary School from the United States. Welcome. And Escuela Tribu Viva from Colombia, which is amazing to have you here. So please drop some reaction and drop some love for all of our amazing classes. We are so grateful for the support and partnership from the Solomon Islands Ministry of Education and the Solomon Islands National University. Now today, we will have some very special guests from the Pristine Seas team. But before I introduce you to our very special VIP guests, you may be wondering, what is Pristine Seas all about? And why are they on a ship out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? Well, I'm going to share a little video to get you excited to meet the team.
The global expedition is kicking off with our own purpose-modified vessel, the MV Argo. This is the largest marine conservation effort ever attempted to protect the world's ocean, starting in the Pacific.
Life on Earth wouldn't exist without healthy oceans. Even in the year 2023, there's still plenty of places out there that have yet to be explored. So the ability to have a dedicated vessel going to these most remote places on Earth, working with local communities and trying to support local conservation efforts is the dream come true.
Since 2008, our Pristine Seas team has conducted 38 expeditions and helped create 26 marine reserves around the world, protecting an area bigger than the Amazon rainforest. Now, with a global expedition, Pristine Seas will spend 5 years aboard our ship, the Argo, using groundbreaking science and technology to study the ocean from the surface to the deep, all with the goal of increasing protections for our ocean, and continue doing vital work with our local partners and stakeholders, working toward the common goal of ensuring a healthy ocean for generations to come.
OMG, that expedition sounds epic. I am so excited to hear more about it straight from the team, but I love that video. I literally had goosebumps. Now, throughout this event, we're going to be joined by an amazing group of conservationists who are making this expedition happen. Now, team, this is a legendary group of marine scientists who are making a real difference to better understand our ocean environments and marine species. As part of their 5-year Pacific expedition, the team is spending 6 weeks aboard their ship, the MV Argo, which we just saw in that video, in the waters around the Solomon Islands. And you can see where they're going on this map right now. And today, they will be joining us live from the expedition off the reefs of Tuamotu province. So first, we're going to hear a bit more about their work in the Solomons from the amazing expedition leader, Paul Rose, and the iconic lead scientist, Molly Timbers. Take it away, team.
Hello everybody, I'm Paul Rose, Expedition Leader for Pristine Seas here in the Solomon Islands. And we're here because there's a big appetite in the local communities, the local leadership and the national leadership to create marine protected areas, ocean conservation. But traditional knowledge and traditional techniques only go so far. So with local partners, and we've got local team members on board, we're filling in the gaps, filling in those gaps of knowledge that are deeper and further away. We're going to bring back that information with compelling media and science reports to influence and guide them on smart decision making.
Hi everyone, I'm Molly Timbers and I'm the science lead for this trip. And so my job is to choreograph everywhere that we survey, and we're trying to bring all this new technology to get some hard data science to match those traditional knowledge, to figure out areas that would be great for conservation. So we have a variety of tools and technologies that we're going to use to try to assess not only the coral reef systems near the shore, but also deeper systems and some offshore areas that are near the coastal systems. So we have these deep sea drop cameras that can go all the way to 6,000 meters. We also have these baited cameras that we deploy between 30 meters and 60 meters to see that habitat. And those same type of baited cameras we do off in pelagic waters, which are waters that are off the coast, where you get the tuna and the rainbow runner, the fish species that don't come all the way to the reef system, but are slightly offshore and important food sources for the local communities. And then we also target right on the coral reefs. And on the coral reefs, we have scientists looking at the fish, the coral, the algae, the inverts, and also at coral recruitment, because all of this combined gives us an assessment of how healthy the reef is, how degraded it could be, and what is the potential for recovery. And we're hoping that this collective from shallow to deep information will help us create a picture for the local government, the local communities, and the national government for them to determine the best areas where they can preserve their marine habitats.
Wow, that is truly fascinating work. And it sounds like there is a very big, ambitious goal, and it takes a lot to accomplish. I'm curious, and I have a question for you all. How many people does it actually take to run an expedition like this? I want to see what you think the answer is. So teachers, get close to your keyboards so you can answer for your class. So our question for you is, how many people does it take to run a pristine seas expedition? Is it A, 10, B, 34, C, 85, or D, 150 plus? Well, that was such awesome music, and we have some incredible answers coming through. So we see on Zoom, the number one most common answer is 34, and then a lot of people think it's 150 plus. Now on YouTube, and I love our YouTube family. Let's give a big shout out to them. We can see all of your wonderful comments coming through. Thank you, YouTube. We see 50% say 150 plus, and 29% say 85. Okay, this is some very, very guesses. So get your final answers in, because we truly have a big range of answers. Now, I'm excited. We're actually going to go to Molly live, and she's going to tell you exactly what that answer is. Molly, can you please let us know?
A range of answers, and it was kind of a trick question. And it's a trick question because all of them are kind of true in one way or the other. So there are actually 10 scientists on board. So it takes 10 scientists to collect the data. So if you answered 10, you're kind of true. But you know what? There's also 5 media people, 2 logistics people, 1 person who's a doctor, and 17 crew as well. So there's a total of 34 people on the boat to make this ship run and function. So if you chose 34, you're right as well. But you know what? There's like 50 people back in National Geographic who are supporting and making all the contracts and making things happen. So if you said 85, you're also correct. But you know what? To really push conservation, we need buy-in from the local government. We have our local partners. We need the community members, and we need people like you who actually want to conserve. And so the reality is, to really make a successful expedition, it's lots and lots of people. So 150 people or more also make the expedition a success. So it's a wide range of type of people who enable the success of this expedition. Now, as we mentioned in the beginning, we use a lot of different type of technologies. And I had said some of these about the diving. And so the diving is you put on these scuba tanks and you actually breathe underwater. And when you're breathing underwater, it enables you to stay down for 90 to 200 or 100 minutes. And you can actually assess the fish and the coral and the inverts and the algae in the area. But we also do camera systems where divers can't go. And some of them are at 30 to 60 meters. Others are offshore in pelagic waters. And pelagic just means open water. And you can see those in the yellow box to the right with the shark, with the camera systems hanging down below the water column. And then we have these deep sea camera systems, and they are just these little ball globes that we drop down as deep as 6,000 meters. And they assess the habitat that very few people, if any, really ever get to see. And that environment is completely different than what we see in the shallows. So we have this wide range of technology that we use to try to make this expedition successful in order to provide the information needed to create conservation areas.
Thank you so much, Molly. It is so interesting to hear about how all the different roles are making this a success. And it was a bit of a tricky question, but I love that we all had the right answer. So please give yourself a pat on the back and pat the back of the person sitting next to you, because we all need to be involved, as well as all of learning a bit more about the cool tech that was so interesting that all makes it possible. I know that I'm so excited to join all of us listening now and make this effort possible. Okay, so now I'm guessing, like me, You're wondering, what is it really like to do field work out at sea? Well, we do have David Aram here, and he is the Fisheries Principal Officer from the Solomon Islands, Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources. Now, he is a legendary local scientist collaborating with the Pristine Seas team on this expedition to help better understand the health of our marine environment. So we are going to now jump to David, and he's going to show us what it's like to dive in the amazing waters of the Solomon Islands.
I am in reef at the moment and expect to see what's inside the water, and diving with the Pristine Expertise team. It's going to be a whole lot of milestone and learning experience with this team. Just when we went down, I saw shark, and I think that's an indicator that the reef is still okay. I think overall, just looking at the first dive, I still have more of dive to do, and maybe after misalnya do more dive sim, then maybe sabi compare them good general health and status below the reef here in Temotu. To be a local scientist and diving here in the Solomon waters is just amazing, and I think I really enjoy all the bit of it, and just seeing the environment itself and knowing, not only seeing but having the feel of it, and looking at all the abundance and diversity of fish that we have. With all the report that we will come up with, I think we have good confidence that we will provide good information for our people, for our resource owners, with the findings that we will come out for the outcome of this survey. Well, it was amazing. The sea is so colorful. I saw a lot of fusilier, wrasse, butterfly fish, even shark. I think the reef here is still alright, but we're still yet to find and compare with other sites. But yeah, overall, Hembarawa nice to us. And for Lani with Demokota, expect where we dive with Demokota. Me enjoy dive. Thank you too much.
That was so cool. I literally felt like I was in the water, and now I really want to go diving. Who just wants to jump in the water after watching that video? Let me know in the comments. How amazing must it be to see the ocean from that perspective? Now, I'm so excited because we actually have David, the superstar in that video, with us now live to tell us more. So David, can you please tell us a bit more about what it is like to dive in these waters and the importance to local culture? Hi, David.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet
Great
you all.
to have you here.
All right. I have dived in other provinces in the Solomon Islands, and I've never seen such a colorful ocean and water here in Temutu province. And I think that's the most important thing. If we continue to conserve our marine resources, I think the important thing is to continue maintain our culture. Once our marine resources is depleted, I think the sad thing is that we will lose our identity, who we are, and how we are connected with the ocean. We are ocean people, and I think that's the important thing to do here, and I'm so happy. Giant clam here in the Solomon. We haven't really seen any giant clam yet, but there's a footage from the Marshall Island. I think giant clam here in the Solomon is significant for local consumption, and I think that's it's very nutritious. It helps us when we consume clam. Not only that, but in Makira and Western Province, they use it for carvings. They use the clam for carvings, and in Malaita, they use clam for shell money. and also they can process the lime, from the shell, and that's how important the clam that we have here in the Solomon. Not only that, but ecologically, giant clam play a vital role in the ecosystem and maintaining the healthy coral reef here. They usually filter water. They recycle the nutrients and provide habitat for various marine organisms. However, overfishing and habitat destruction threatening now the population law or the clam where imigaram law or the water bulimia. And an example here, Lotemotu, a population him also going down. We haven't really seen that much clam here in Temotu yet, but hope that our future dive we will explore. Maybe we will see some population in our future dive. So yeah, overall, I think it's very exciting to be part of this Pristine Seas team and a learning experience. And of course, if you like for become a marine scientist, you have to love the ocean. Yay!
Well, you are in the right place because, David, we all love the ocean here. And we've got so many amazing comments coming through from YouTube, coming through from Zoom, saying that those clams look so cool. Someone said their mind's blowing, and they look like they're from another world. So thank you for sharing a little bit more about the giant clams with us. Now, we do have another question for all of our wonderful students who are watching. And you just heard from Molly about the range of scientific methods the team are using for their research. And she also shared a little bit more about the pelagic zone, which is all ocean waters away from the shoreline and above the seafloor. Now, imagine you are a scientist and you want on this expedition and you want to learn more about pelagic species like silky sharks, and I know we've got a lot of shark fans in the comments because I saw some of your comments, marlin or tuna. Which research method would you use to get a glimpse into this world? Would you use the deep sea camera at the bottom of the ocean? Or would you consider using a baited open water camera at the mid-range depths? Or maybe you want to go scuba diving closer to the surface of the ocean. Let's see what you think. Teachers, get close to your keyboards so you can answer for your class. Once again, the question is, which research method would you use to capture images of the pelagic species? The deep sea camera, the baited open water camera, scuba diving with handheld cameras. And I think this is giving us a little clue on the screen. Teachers, you should see a poll on your screen. I'm going to pause to give students time to think and answer. Let's start that awesome countdown. So we have so many amazing answers coming through, and we're seeing here on Zoom, we're seeing most of you think it is scuba diving with handheld camera or the baited open water camera. And on YouTube, 55%, the majority of them are saying the baited open water camera. So team, get your final guesses in there because the answer is, drum roll please, B, the baited open water camera. So well done if you answered B. Please give yourself a pat on the back, pat the back of your friend sitting next to you. If you're tuning at home, feel free to pat the cat. but I would love for us to jump to one of the scientists on board to tell us a little bit more about this camera and why it is the right one for the job. We are going to go live to marine ecologist Chris Thompson as he is going to take us with him as he deploys one. Let's go into it.
So what do we have here is one of our pelagic BROVs, which stands for Baited Remote Underwater Video System. But basically what they are is a camera system that we put out offshore and they let us look at what animals are out there. Basically what they consist of is 2 video cameras here, so we put 2 GoPros, and then a bait here, which those cameras are looking at. And so we put them out offshore in the blue water for 2 hours, come back, pick them up, download the footage, and then we can see what's out there. It can be kind of tricky to pick a location because it might all look the same from the surface, but often there's different current lines, or there's maybe underwater sea mountains or things like that that might aggregate more animals. So we'll look for places like that. But we also need to be careful because if the weather changes, it might blow the rigs onto the reef, or if there's a strong current, then we need to take that into consideration. When we're processing the footage, we'll look at all the different species that are there. We'll look at how many of each of them there are, and we'll also look at how big. So this gives us really good information about the environment out there. Those ecosystems out offshore are really important, not only for the overall health of the ocean, but also for a lot of local communities, because they have a lot of fish like tunas or wahoo or things like that that are actually really important for food fish, and also important commercially, as they're often the fish that people catch to sell at the market.
I loved joining Chris and deploying that camera, and we got some pretty cool footage. But I've still got so many questions, and Chris is safely back on the deck of the ship. And I'm so curious to see what other tech he is going to show us. So we're going live now to Chris. Chris, can you please show us around? It's great to have you here.
Hi Alexia, it's great to be here. We're up on the top deck of the Argo, and we're here in the beautiful reef island of the Tuamotu province. You can probably see it behind me maybe. But yeah, this is really like our tech center of the ship. So this is where we get a lot of our stuff ready. We have all the different baited cameras. So we have the pelagic cameras over here. We have the seabed cameras you might have seen in that slide that Molly showed, but they're actually out being deployed at the moment. But we're really lucky because Mike, our drop cam operator from this trip, has actually just come back with our deep ocean cameras. So we have one that's just come back and it's downloading here, and then we have one that's getting ready to go out this afternoon. So I can tell you a little bit about these maybe because that's something different. So these ones are actually made by the Exploration Technology Lab at National Geographic. So they're really cool technology. They can go right down to 6,000 meters. So that covers most of the ocean floor. And we can just drop them over the side of the tender, pick them up, download them, and see what they find. So basically what they consist of is a video camera in here, and then in the top is a computer. So we can program them to stay down for as long as we like. And then when it's programmed, this wire here will break and they'll float back up to the surface. We can use this flag and a little GPS locator to find them. But down there it's really deep and dark and there's a lot of pressure. So this glass sphere is actually perfectly polished so that it can withstand the pressure down in the deep ocean. We have lights here on the side, and then we actually also add some bait as well. So that's going to attract all of those weird, wonderful deep sea creatures into the bait, into the field of view for the camera. So yeah, once this camera downloads here, we're going to be able to see what's out in the deep in 500 meters, 1,000 meters off the reef islands here in Tuamotu. So we're really excited to see what we're going to find.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Chris, for showing how you are gathering data to contribute such critical information about the ocean. Now, we've all been learning so much together. So soon we'll welcome all of you to ask the Pristine Seas team some questions. But first, I have a final question for our audience. So now that we've learned more about the science and conservation work of the Pristine Seas team, and we've gotten a little peek at the marine life underwater, I'm curious what you think they may find. So take a moment to think about this next question. What are some of the marine species you think they will capture with their cameras? Now, this is an open-ended question, so teachers, have your students share your answers and type them in the chat bar, and you can guess as many species as you'd like. Once again, the question is, what are some of the marine species you think the Pristine Seas team will capture with their cameras? I'm going to give you some time to think and answer. Let's roll that awesome countdown. I love that countdown, and we had some amazing answers come through. Okay, we have Bryce's class thinks it's tuna towel. We said sharkies, and someone did a shark reaction on Zoom. Love it to see it. We have corals. We have deep sea eels. We have dolphins. We do love dolphins. Lots of giant clams and corals, rays, sharks, turtles. We love turtles. Okay, now on YouTube, we've got so many incredible answers going through. We love our YouTube fam. We've got sharks, dolphins, coral reef. Tiffany says tuna and sharks. Well done, Tiffany. Lisa says colorful fish. Amy says rays, sea turtles. And I love this answer, jaguar shark. So many great answers. And what is so exciting is if you join us next week, you can find all the different species they find in the water of the Solomon Islands. But now I'm excited to welcome back Molly, Chris, and David to answer your questions, because we're going to kick off one of my favorite parts of the show, the live Q&A portion. So we have our superstars that you saw in all those videos here with us right now. So please say a hi and drop some love for our wonderful, incredible, super special guests. And I can see lots of waving, which is awesome. Now, if you're watching on Zoom, you can use the hand raise function at the bottom of your screen to raise your hand, or you can write your question in the chat bar to let me know that you have a question. And we can call on as many classes as time allows. And if we call on you, please use a nice loud voice so we can all hear you. If you have any mic problems, no worries, you can just type it in the chat. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, send us your questions using the chat. We are literally watching as they all come in, so please only send each question once. And teachers, please let us know who's asking the question so we can give them a shout out. Now, we have got some amazing questions from YouTube. And our first question is from Catherine. We love you, Catherine. And that is, what are ways that the explorers' work influences the ocean? So what is the way in which the work that you're doing is having an influence and impact?
Well, I think the biggest thing that our work is really trying to do is to create marine protected areas, conservation areas, to try to get the health of the system back to normal. Because there's a lot of places across this globe where our marine environment is degrading. Some of that is definitely from these global changes like global warming, but it's also caused by us humans, from nutrient inputs, from overfishing, from coastal development and sedimentation. All of these factors are impacting our resources, and the ocean is our livelihood. It gives us 50% of the oxygen. It is the main source of protein for millions of people, specifically here in the Pacific. And as our populations are increasing, we're extrapolating more resources. And so we need to have areas in which we can protect and conserve. And through that conservation, hopefully nature can heal itself. And as it heals itself, it will spread into areas that are less conserved or more degraded to hopefully start making change there. So our whole mission here is to support the conservation of marine protected areas. And we're invited by the Solomon's government. David here is a part of the Ministry of Fisheries to help them in determining and supporting their conservation. Do you guys have anything to add?
Maybe just I'd like to share the terminology they call replenishment. I think that's when you conserve one area and it replenishes. It's like a cup. You fill a cup and it overflows to the other sides that are not really good in the status. So I think that's the idea of doing protected areas so that it can supply the larvae to other reefs that are exploited. Yeah, I think it's very important to do marine protected areas. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you, team. And that is such great insight. We need to have our marine protected areas. Thank you so much for championing and giving the research to help drive that. Our final question is, what final message do you want to give to all of the incredible student explorers out there watching now? What is that final message?
All right.
Take it away, David.
All right. From Solomon Island perspective, we are 98% ocean, and that means only 2% land. So we are ocean country. Because of the diverse marine ecosystem that we have, ranging from world-renowned coral reefs. We have different habitats like mangrove, seagrass beds, seamounts, and you name it. The rich and marine environment that support the incredible life. I think life is, the underwater is full of fascinating things. Yeah. So here in the Solomon, we have 1,019 plus fish species. We have 500 plus coral species and other marine species that we have. So as a Solomon Islander and someone who loves the ocean, we need to help protect our ocean. Yeah, just taking small initiative, maybe just cleaning our coastal areas. Yeah, or advocating the importance of conservation. And these are all actions that will build in helping protect our ocean. It defines who we are. I think our ocean is our culture. And if we lose important marine species, we will lose our culture, we will lose who we are, we will lose our identity. So Yumi, stop, look after them. Ocean blue me, have life blue me. Thank you.
Wow, that was so powerful. What an inspiring message to finish on. I feel so inspired. I feel so energized. I can feel your passion through the screen, and I hope you can feel all of our passion and appreciation to you, Molly, Chris, and David, and the entire Pristine Seas team for bringing us out to sea with you and giving us a little taste of what life is like on a Pristine Seas expedition. Thank you so, so much, team. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so cool. Give them a wave. Drop some love in the comments. We've got lots of waves, lots of thank yous in the chat. Thank you so much. Now, a big thank you to all of our wonderful students for their amazing questions. Of course, thanks to our awesome teachers for bringing your classes to our show. Now, we do have a mission for all you students participating. As you're learning about this unique expedition, we want you to practice what it takes to be a real-life explorer. Our mission for you is to interview a member of your community whose life is tied to the ocean and learn about the connection between people and the ocean. Teachers, please use the Educator Guide to learn more about this mission. A big thank you once again for joining us for the first episode of Explorer Classroom Ocean Expedition to the Solomon Islands. We hope to see you next week. I can't wait to see you next week, where we learn all about what the Pristine Seas team is documenting on their expedition. Now, this one is going to be super epic. We're actually going to see what they find. So for those in the Solomon Islands, please join us again on November 14th at 9 a.m. And for those in the other parts of the world, that is November 13th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So get that in your diaries, fam. So please, team, give yourself a final pat on the back. You can pat back both shoulders because you did such an awesome job, and pat the back of the person sitting next to you. Have a great day. Stay curious and keep exploring. We'll see you next time.